Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Classic Doctor Who Reviews, and this week we have a humdinger, a barnstormer, and other words consisting of 3 syllables. This is the Curse of Fenric, a Sylvester McCoy story, and to discuss it with me, I've got my one usual co-host. So, to my virtual right, she cancels scripts on the internet, so you don't have to, it's Kat.
Yay! And it's just us today because, Frez didn't seem all that interested in this episode at all, so
Yeah,
we decided he didn't have to. Yeah,
Hey! What is this?
Jesus Christ, how did you find my bedroom?
Easy. I looked it up. Y'all trying to talk about one of the best stories, if not the best story, from my favorite classic Doctor without me?
Of course not.
Try.
And to my
fucking try.
And to my virtual left, you just get the shit out of me. It's FreezingInferno.
Goddamn right. Curse of Fenric. Let's go.
Let's go is right.
Yay.
This is a fantastic story.
it is.
Like Rainiac, I'm going to throw out a statement here. I don't think it's that big a hyperbole. This could very well be the best classic Doctor Who story.
No, I completely agree. It's between this and Remembrance the Daleks.
Yeah, and really, to be honest, with me and Remembrance of the Daleks, a lot of that is personal nostalgia because that was the first classic Doctor Who story I ever watched.
Yeah,
So-
I do know that the accepted answer for best classic serial is City of Death, and that's brilliant.
It's good, but it ain't Curse of Fenric.
It has John Cleese and Eleanor Braun. It has Julian Glover playing Dalek Sec. It's really good, but it's not Curse of Fenric.
My first classic Doctor Who was Twin Dilemma, so
Yeah.
Oh well, you've got nowhere to go with that.
So
well, after that, it was the Aztecs episode from the first Doctor, so
that's a better episode.
It's just a little bit better than Twin Dilemma.
it was boring. It
Just
was
a
actually
little
more
bit.
boring. It was more boring than Twin Dilemma because I was supposed to learn.
Oh,
You're sitting there having this, watching this like introspective look about changing history, and you're like, this is boring. I wish somebody would just strangle somebody.
I'm telling you, if I ever do like a supercut of various quotes from these streams that we do, these podcasts, that quote there is like, it's boring because I had to learn things. That's going straight in the front center of the montage.
Oh my god!
I love it. So you will probably have hated this one because there's more history to learn. So the Doctor and Ace, they arrive in 1943, I think, Britain.
World War II era.
I think it's 43, but it's certainly World War II era. Yes. Northumberland. Maiden's Point. I don't know if Maiden's Point actually exists or if that's a fictitious location, but Northumberland certainly exists. And we begin with some soldiers.
Yay!
fun.
The Ruskies. The damn Ruskies. Red Scare, Red Scare, Red Scare.
Which, if you were here in if you were here in America, that would have a lot more impact than any place else.
Well, don't forget that in 1943 they were our allies.
Which will be a point in the story.
Oh, how times have changed.
Oh god! And keep in mind though, this story was 89, so Cold War was winding down, but
Yes,
still,
it was thawing out, and that's not a joke. People do refer to that.
Yeah.
That's not much you can oh, cold and thaw. No. People do refer to it as thawing out.
Well, I mean, off the last episode, back in the USSR, they don't know how lucky they are.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, that's a Beatles joke.
No, I got it, and they got it. That was great.
Mhm.
Oh no, I knew you two got it, but there's someone out there who has no idea of that song, I'm sure.
That song's a banger, actually. That's one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's someone out there who doesn't know the song.
Well, look it up. It's a banger.
Anyway, the Russian soldiers, or I think they're just referred to as the Soviet soldiers, so maybe not all Russian, because, the Soviet Union was a union at that point.
I think they said something about Armenians were also in the party.
That would make sense.
So
they were part of the Soviet Union at the time of the Second World War. So these Soviets then, they're on two dinghies. They are speaking in a foreign language, but then the lead soldier says English from now on, and then the subtitles magically disappear. That's great. That.
Well, yeah.
That's,
remember, no Russian.
Do you know so far that's the last time that they've used subtitles on a Doctor Who episode?
And I don't know. I think they fixed it for the special edition of Curse of Fenric. There's like 3 cuts of Curse of Fenric. We watched the episodic TV edit, just for simplicity.
Yes, there's 3 cuts of the Curse of Fenric. There's Curse of Fenric Championship Edition, then Super Curse of Fenric.
Anyway, on the episodic TV broadcast cut, the subtitles kind of look like shit.
And they did on the version that we watched as well. So
yeah.
I think we just watched the standard version because that's all I have to hand. But it's still pretty good. I can't say the enhanced version actually adds anything particularly, but
pretty CGI, maybe a deleted scene or 2.
Yeah. I know it also restores a couple of interesting extras that we'll get to a bit later on. So the Soviets are having some trouble aboard their dinghy. They split into 2 parties. Dinghy returns with just 1 survivor. And then some orders fall in the water. Soldier goes to grab it, and he is grabbed by a pair of hands, and that's the end of him.
Ooh.
Pour one out for that guy. Meanwhile, in an underrated bit that I really, really like, the Doctor and A step out the TARDIS, are immediately accosted by soldiers. And the Doctor says, well, it took you long enough.
Listen, this is before psychic paper where you could just go, I'm in charge, I'm official and whatnot. But so usually in the classic show, they would make a point out of this because, oh no, we're writing a 6-parter, writers got to eat, and then the Doctor is taken prisoner for 25 minutes. Yeah. Instead, this is like, cut all the fat, only plot. The Doctor is just that bold and brash, and he's just like, yeah, I'm in charge.
No, this is super tight. Actually, it's so tight they actually overran the filming time allocation, and they were thinking maybe we should make it a 5-parter or a 4-parter, and the rest said no, don't do that. So they didn't.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't shake the baby. No.
we haven't even got to the baby yet.
Yeah, seriously, slow your roll.
Now, talking about that, I just want to jump ahead a little bit with the scene I love where the Doctor waltzes into this room and meets the guy he's going to meet, who we'll talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
And he asks for stationery and a pen, and he just takes it and he starts writing. So a soldier comes in. Sorry, sir, these 2 are unauthorized personnel. I think you'll find that we're totally authorized and that this is signed by the Prime Minister and the head of state.
Yeah, he's used the time that the guard was away to forge
his own authorization.
Yes.
That is the best.
That is great.
Like, God bless psychic paper for speeding up stuff like that, but that is a much better joke.
Yeah, and they meet up with one of the major characters of this serial, which is Dr. Judson.
He's basically Alan Turing.
He pretty much is Alan Turing, which is kind of awkward when you get to the photograph on the other character's desk of the 2 of them. There was an implication that he was supposed to be a homosexual. It didn't make it into the episode.
I think it made it into like I've heard this in like the special features somewhere that he and the commander.
They really lean into making him Alan Turing.
Mm-hmm. Which is Alan Turing, for those of you not up on your history, things didn't end well for him.
No, we didn't do him very well.
No, unfortunately.
The government did him a huge disservice, shall we just say, and leave it at that. If you really want to know what happened to Alan Turing, look it up, but it's not edifying.
It's not pretty.
No. this brilliant genius of our time, and we repaid him like that. Oof. I feel skeevy just thinking about it. But yeah, we meet Judson, and the Doctor immediately impresses him by solving the prisoner's dilemma.
Ace impresses him as well by knowing what the logic diagram.
Yeah, there's a logic game that's been mapped out by Judson, and Ace recognised it immediately, and these two get themselves in his good books.
Yay.
Which is going to be interesting for going forward. Ace's knowledge of logic games.
Yeah.
But that's not until part 2, part 3. Because this story, I found on the rewatch, it's not what I call dragging, but part 1 is just a slow burn, and then it just amps up and
It doesn't drag at all. They just use part 1 to introduce the primary characters.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, I call it. And part 1 is a slow burn, and by part 2, things have escalated, and they only continue to escalate.
I mean, it's still better than other things where at least we actually get pieces of the mystery inside of part 1.
It is so well plotted.
Be entirely character. And it's not that.
It is so tightly plotted.
It's really good.
Ian Briggs just uses every single second he's got.
And because the episode's overrunning, he doesn't have too much. So you really had I gather the special edition might have a little more room to make it breathe.
It's like the opposite of the writer's got to eat.
The writer's got to craft a good fucking plot.
The writer's got to fast.
The writer did good and didn't put in any faff or anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll then introduce some other supporting characters. The Reverend Wainwright, played by the late Nicholas Parsons. We lost him this year. Rest in peace.
That was this year? I was thinking.
It was this year.
If that was in 2019 or 2020.
He got to 96. He had a hell of an innings.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think he only missed one episode of Just a Minute in that time.
Dang.
Or did he never miss it? It's one of the two, but it's a remarkable accomplishment. So he plays this local reverend. He's a bit of a nervous sort, but he has a reason for being like that. And we're also introduced to Phyllis and Jean and Mrs. Hardacre.
Mrs. Hardacre. You naughty girls are going to burn it out. How dare you?
Yeah, not the best of characters.
No. There's probably some symbolism inherent in her and what happens to Phyllis and Jean, but
she is basically the equivalent. She's basically Briggs, basically taking the idea that not all the people who took in the evacuees were nice people and running with it.
Yeah.
Phyllis and Jean, meanwhile, are these two evacuees. They're a bit rebellious. They're a bit out of the loop. They're outsiders.
Let's put it this way: they're very city girls, while everybody else is very country.
Are they from London?
Yeah. They have a chat with Ace, and they say they were evacuated from London.
Ace is also from London, or
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they
They literally say that in the episode.
I know.
Like, we're from London, and she's like, yeah, me too.
I couldn't remember that little bit of dialogue, but yes, they're all from London. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they make a secret plan to meet at Maiden's Bay.
Maiden's Point.
Point.
Which really upsets Hardacre. Maiden's Point? How dare you, naughty girls!
Yeah. Again, she's
honestly,
not the best
it
character.
really upset me. It really upset me because we see Ace pointing at the sign for 2 Maiden's Point, and that's a lie. Only Ace was pointing, so that's just 1 Maiden pointing.
Cat!
Low-hanging fruit, bitches.
And you still snatched it.
God almighty.
Which says more about you than it does them.
Oh, I'm perfectly happy with that.
Oh, God.
We're also introduced to a really important character and somebody I despise, Commander Millington.
Who's having a think in the Nazi room.
Oh yes, he literally has a Nazi room. Now he's not a Nazi. He's not a Nazi. He's not much better than them. Yeah,
he's trying to think
get in their heads.
The way the Nazis think. So he's got his office decked out like a Nazi's office, and he's just sitting there thinking, if I were a Nazi, what would I do tactically?
It's the German cipher room. It's supposed to be a German cipher room. But
I will say one thing. At first I thought it was Hitler, and I thought, wow, they gave Hitler a really big mustache this time. And then I saw the giant ass painting of Hitler behind him. I'm like, oh, never mind. Okay, this is someone else.
What if Stalin and Hitler had a kid?
I gotta say that this room is totally inaccurate. There's no cupboard to shove Hitler in.
But there is a chess set.
That'll be important.
That will be important. Chekhov's chessboard. And there is a photograph that I was referring to earlier of Judson and Millington together, and it's supposed to show they've been to the same school. And it's also the abandoned gay overtone subplot.
So the doctor, when he gets there, is just like, "Hey, look at this photograph. Every time I see it, makes me laugh."
Jerry, Jerry,
look, hanging fruit.
Yes.
We don't talk about Nickelback here.
Welcome to the dark side, Fresno.
We don't talk about Nickelback here at all.
Oh God.
Oh jeez. Oh.
That's completely thrown me. Anyway, Millington is initially suspicious of Ace and the Doctor, but he warms to them, probably because Judson likes them. He's less warm towards another character. He's got a group of Wrens, who are women in the Royal Navy, assisting him. And one of the Wrens in particular catches our eye.
Right? That's what they are?
Yeah. They weren't just codebreaker assistants, but they were predominantly used as assistants in that capacity. And one of the Wrens has a child with her, and Millington doesn't like it. So he gives this Wren 24 hours to find somewhere to place the child, or he'll dismiss it from the service, which I'm not sure he had the power to actually do that, but we'll go along with it for the...
I mean, Millington basically thinks he has the power to do whatever the fuck he wants. So.
He might have the power to ban the child from the building, but I don't think he can dismiss it for that.
Ace wants to tear him a new asshole for it too.
What am I kidding? It's the war. Of course he could do that. Anyway, this Wren is Kathleen.
Yes.
No, the Wren is Kathleen.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job doxing yourself on the internet there.
You say my name all the time on this podcast.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Yes, seriously, Bront.
They're good dogs, Brett.
Well,
oh shit.
Anyways, we should probably continue on, Brisket. So let's continue.
Thank you. Thank you for talking over me doxing myself, so they didn't hear my name. Perfect. 2 thumbs up.
God damn it, Bert.
But part 1 is almost over because we've had all the introductions. Now we get to the plot.
We should mention the thing with Ace and the baby before we come on.
That's not in part 1, is it?
Yes, it is. I got it on my notes here.
I thought it was in part 1. Oh, yeah, you're right, yeah.
No, it's part 1, and it's really freaking weird if you don't know what's going on.
Ace loves this baby.
And then she doesn't.
No, she loves this baby.
It's like... No, this is the really weird part, because she picks up this baby, and she's like, oh, look at the cute little baby. What's her name? And then the lady says, oh, her name's Audrey, and Ace is like, get this fucking thing away from me. How dare you, ma'am?
She hates that name because
it's her mother's name, apparently. And yeah, that's just freaking weird.
Give that baby to Gene Snitsky so he can punch it to the ground on Monday Night Raw.
Jesus Christ.
It wasn't my fault. Come on now. Yeah, she has a very quick U-turn when she finds out the name of the baby. Am I right in thinking you never actually find out what exactly Ace's mother has done to Ace to make her hate her?
Not in televised Doctor Who, no.
I'm talking about televised Doctor Who. The expanded universe doesn't count here.
I don't know if one of those novels...
Oh, you know they will have done. You know they will have done.
I have a possibility here because I pulled it up on the wiki, and it says here that in an audio called The Rapture, apparently, although Ace did not learn of this until later, she had a son named Liam, who had, after having an affair with her husband's best friend.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently Ace knew about the affair, but not the son.
Okay, that's fucked up.
Oh, the expanded universe has some real shit in it.
And according to this, she had the son in 1974.
Oh. Yeah, that's a year after Ace was born.
So, yeah.
I thought Ace was like
1970, the 20th of August of 1970.
Okay.
I thought it was 73, but I'll you've got the wiki up, so...
Well, it says here, at around the age of 27, Audrey gave birth to Dorothy.
I will bow to your superior knowledge.
August 1970.
I will bow to your superior knowledge. It's 1970. I'm saying you're right, Cat. Shut up for a second.
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit here and let y'all have your TARDIS wiki.
Fight.
Fight. Jesus Christ.
Presumably while someone's flicking the light switch on and off.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I don't have much more for my part 1 notes. So,
yeah, so we get to the cliffhanger then. The Doctor is just searching around Maiden's Point for clues.
Yeah.
They stumble across a body, as you do. It's the poor sod that was dragged in by the hands earlier. So he drowned, basically. Or he'd better hope he drowned.
And then the Soviets come out with their guns and...
Those damn Ruskies!
I think this is the really... Yeah. This is the only, what I'd call, contrived cliffhanger of the story. It's just, okay, we're 25 minutes in, now we got to put the Doctor in some danger, which will hand wave away 30 seconds into episode 2. How's the Doctor going to get out of this one? Oh, he just talks his way out of it, whatever.
Yeah. He's good at that.
But, I mean, it's the only really, contrived cliffhanger that is and now we are at the point where the episode ends, so here's some arbitrary danger. The rest of them are going to be lit. Holy shit, things are escalating. Lit!
Oh, and there's one more important point we should mention, because it has a real bearing on the next 3 parts. Judson is trying to translate these ancient runes.
Which are in the crypt of the church that Wainwright.
Yes, the crypt of Wainwright's church. St. Jude, I think. The Church of St. Jude.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter the name
blah,
of it.
Blah, blah, Vikings, blah, 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 Norse, blah, 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 treasure, blah, 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 Norse,
end of the world, yeah.
Culture,
blah, 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 curse. Yeah. What's wild is the scene we get near the start of episode 2, right after the Russian soldiers are no, actually, we won't shoot you. We're going to take you to the captain.
Yeah.
When you see a whole new set of runes get burnt into the church wall.
Yeah, that's a really good effect.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't think so, because when they did the special edition, they changed it so the letters were more glowy.
Oh, get out of here. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
so essentially, they George Lucased it.
Don't special edition this, I was going to say.
Well, you're too late. They already have special edition this.
I know.
No.
That's why I made the Street Fighter joke. So they're not killed, but they are instead introduced to the Soviet captain, who is actually quite reasonable compared to Millington.
And who apparently is a complete dreamboat, according to Ace.
I mean, Ace is into anarchy, so it kind of figured she would find this guy appealing.
She has a Soviet emblem on her bomber jacket.
Yes, and that will also come into play.
Yeah.
But this Captain Sorin, I like him.
Captain Sorin's great.
He's one of the more endearing characters, actually, which is interesting because this being 89 and the end of the Cold War, the Soviets are actually depicted as more noble than some of the British.
I don't think you could have got away with this just a couple of years earlier.
You definitely couldn't.
Mm.
It wasn't the height of the Red Scare.
Before Gorbachev and Perestroika.
It wasn't the height of the Red Scare, but you wouldn't be able to get away with it, no.
But yeah, he's a lot more noble than Commander Millington, who has a secret death plague lab. Let's talk about Commander Millington's secret death plague lab.
Yes. So they're using this code machine, the Ultima, because that's not the Enigma at all, to try and decode these inscriptions, including the ones that just lit up the church wall. But at some point, Judson is actually carried away, like physically carried away from his work, by his nurse, who you might recognise the actress if you've watched Series 3 of Modern Who. It's Anne Reid.
Who's Anne Reid?
She is the Plasmavore in Smith & Jones.
Oh my god. The lady with the straw?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Returned to Doctor Who, hang on a minute. Maths quickly on the fly. 19 years later.
Yeah, sounds right, yeah.
It is right, because I said it.
It is. Wow. The confidence in that one.
No, I figured it out from my age. So.
Well, no. See, sweetie, that's not how it works. Whenever you say something is completely and utterly wrong, it's when I say something that it's right.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was your channel.
Quick, Rainiac, say this statement is false and blow everyone's heads.
This statement is false.
Insert Red Dwarf exploding head gif here.
Oh god, I can't believe it. I simply cannot
compute.
That exploding head gif is so good.
So,
all I can think of now is you guys have played Portal 2, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with yes.
Is it alright if I do a little bit of spoiling?
Yeah, of course.
It's a 10-year-old game, I think.
I've played it, but I don't have it.
Oh, all I can think about is that part where GLaDOS is trying to get Wheatley to sort of fizz out with a paradox, and she's like, "This statement is false. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it." And then Wheatley's just like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever."
Yeah, he's immune to it.
Beautiful.
It's the funniest shit.
How are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
Oh god, that game was fantastic.
Yeah, GLaDOS is so well written.
So, Passport 2, Death Plague Lab?
Death Plague Lab, yeah.
Death Plague Lab.
They're making a toxin.
Well, they're not making a toxin.
Alright, they've mined a toxin.
They're refining a toxin.
They've got men literally mining the gas out of the ground. Which, again, slightly close to the bone because of the whole miners' strike thing 10 years earlier. Oof.
Well, Doctor Who did that before.
For no reason at all, I'm sure.
And, well, of course, the evil poison is, of course, green because, as everybody knows, evil is very lime.
And this is another reason why I love this story so much. There are allusions throughout it to Norse mythology, which I'm not as into it as Greek mythology or Egyptian, but I do know a little bit about Norse mythology. So this is the story of Yggdrasil, the World Tree. And the toxin is basically compared to serpent's venom that hung over the roots of Yggdrasil. Let me just get the exact name. The Well of... I apologise, my Norse sucks. Havergelmir? Havergelmir. Viridian Green. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. So yeah, toxic plague lab.
It's citing that knowledge of mythology that gets Millington to sort of trust the Doctor more. And Doctor even says this. Well, I figure he must trust me now. So let's see what he's up to.
Yay!
And what he's up to is horrific. So he's actually set up the ultimate machine as bait, but not for the enemy. He set it up for the damn Soviets, who are supposed to be their allies.
Wait, hang on. Are you saying that the guy who regularly hangs out in a Nazi-themed room might have some sort of genocide on his mind?
No. That would never happen.
Actually, yeah, his plan's actually like twofold. Plan 1, shit bomb German cities with the poison, killing millions of innocent civilians to end the war. And then plan 2 is what you were mentioning. Let the Soviets steal the ultimate machine.
Which has got a vial with the toxin hidden inside it, and when they crack it, uh-oh.
Well, to be fair, I think Plan 2 is happening before Plan 1, considering that the Soviets are already there to steal the machine. So
Plan 2 is happening right then. Plan 1
But the crazy thing is, they are allies. They are not enemies at this stage.
Yeah.
But Millington doesn't care.
Again, is interesting considering the climate this came out in. Because 89, Cold War was stalling, but it was very much still a situation.
Doctor Who being politically relevant? Never.
As the enemy.
Never happened. They do kill an entire cage of pigeons to show the power of the toxin.
Uncle-san, no!
Millington fucking hates Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. We all have the same idea, but I'm glad you got to it before I did.
Eventually that will hit Frez and he'll understand.
No, he just said boyfriend. He knows.
No, what I love is the line from Millington. He explains the plan, where he's just going to let the Russians steal the thing, and then they're going to detonate it. But what they'll do is they have it set so that when when the Soviets, I guess, try to break a code, a certain code word they send, it'll trigger, and the code word is love.
Damn you, Sans!
That is a really weird code word.
Damn you, Sans Undertale!
What are they going to do if they happen to translate like a message from a soldier to his wife, and he's like, "I love you, baby," and then all of a sudden,
die is the answer.
Yep.
This is a stupid plan with a stupid code word. I'm sorry.
Speaking of stupidity, we have the two evacuee children.
Oh boy.
Ace has not gone to the bay to meet them because she's still assisting the doctor. Turns out that's a really good thing because they go to the bay. They've had their swimsuits confiscated by the horrible woman, Miss Hardaker. So they just go in their clothes.
Hardaker.
Yeah, Hardacre. I said that.
I know, we said it at the exact same time.
So. Oh, right. Jinx.
And then it gets all Silent Hill in the bay.
It does. It does. So this mist rolls in, and when the mist clears, the girls are not there anymore. Dun dun dun.
Ooh.
But it's okay because they're not gone for long because they emerge from the waves like nothing's happened.
Well, except for, they got some new press-on nails.
Absolutely nothing's happened apart from the press-on nails. And they haven't got much vitamin D in their skin either.
All I can imagine now is all of the monsters under the water, like, filing each other's nails, like, oh my god, did you hear what Patricia said about me? Like, how dare she?
The Hemivore Boutique.
Shit, no way. Oh, the Hemivores.
Yeah.
I have things to say about the Hemivores.
Really interesting monster, actually.
Once we get to episode 4, and we meet and we learn more about the Hemivores, I'll let that bombshell drop.
Anyway, Millington has now gone crazy. He's ordering all telephone lines to be disabled, all radio transmitters closed down, and all chess sets to be burnt. This sounds like the random acts of a lunatic, but actually it will become very clear what he's up to in the next part. But
to be fair, they kind of are the random acts.
Yes, they are, which makes it work so much. Meanwhile, Jean and Phyllis are luring a Soviet soldier into the water and then killing him.
Ooh.
And then returning to the house with Miss Hardacre and killing her. I feel more sorry for the Soviet than I do for her. But
honestly, most deserved death in this entire serial.
Apart from one.
Well.
Second most deserved. Second most deserved.
Point taken, yeah. Second most deserved.
And it's around here that we get the first instance of Asa. Well, I don't want to say being too clever for her own good, because that sounds kind of mean. But she's smart and unintentionally helps things get worse.
Yeah.
Also Clara.
Don't slander
Can't
my
mention
girl
Clara
like that.
yet. We're not that far into the episode.
Don't slander my girl like that.
Look, things
Basically.
got a lot worse in Raven after she decided to be smart, so...
Don't
just
slander
saying.
my girl like
Yeah,
that.
but for her, not
I mean,
for
you're
everyone
right.
else.
You're right, but don't slander my girl like that.
Look,
That's really
Honey.
creepy because she's older than me, by the way.
let's be fair here. Come on.
No, I said you're right. Just don't slander her like that. I know it can't be slander if it's true. Shut up.
So,
So
Asa
they've
is
drained
hanging.
this Hardacre of all bodily moisture, blood. They drain her blood. They're vampires. The hemophils are vampires. Is what I'm trying to skate around here.
Basically. So what Asa does is she's in Judson's room and just fiddling around with the little logic game while he's trying to solve the runes. And then she comes up with the realization that the runes are actually a logic diagram themselves, designed for something big, not like a little logic game, something big, like, say, the Ultima Machine.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, she unintentionally helps the villains out by
Yes.
Which
And it's not even the only
is a
time
little
that-
strange,
Well.
but okay.
Well, I have a theory on how this happens, because it happens twice in the story. I have a theory on it. We'll get to it.
I
But
can kind of guess what your theory is, but we'll have to discuss that when we actually get to
But before that, we got the vampire. I call them vampires, hemovores.
well,
toying
Phyllis and
with
Jean
the
are
Reverend
basically
State.
vampires at this stage. Yes, they approach the Reverend. They approach Wainwright. They threaten to drain
And
him.
it's a really great scene.
Yeah, they threaten to drain him of blood too. They taunt him that he's lost his faith when the British killed innocents in their bombing raids.
Yeah.
The way it's just like you lost your faith because of the bombs. I'm not afraid of German bombs. Not German bombs. British bombs killing
Yeah.
German children.
It's a really good scene.
Mm.
But the Doctor turns up and
It's a really
saves the day,
heartbreaking
thankfully.
scene.
And this is when we realize Ace hacked up, because he and the Reverend and Ace are walking, and the Doctor says something to the effect of, "Well, so long as Judson doesn't break the code, we should be fine." And Ace just stops, and she's like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, she helped him solve it.
Which does bad things, because
Yeah, that's our
now it's
cliffhanger.
Now it's time for the hemovores to arise.
Yeah, I jumped the gun earlier. These are the actual hemovores.
Yeah.
They
Phyllis and
rise
Jean
from
just-
the sea. They rise from the bay, dressed in rather outdated clothing.
Yeah, you've got like Shakespearean ruffs and shit.
Yeah.
around their neck.
I like the design
They
a
look
lot,
really
actually.
fucking.
Yeah, they're a good design.
Oh, they're hella great.
And our cliffhanger then, we got the hemovores rising out the sea. The runes are going crazy. The Ultima Machine is going crazy. Millington's really pleased about this. And as they approach him, he says, "You're too late. The chains of Fenric will shatter, and his dark power will be mine." Ominous.
Yeah, this is what I mean by this is a much better cliffhanger and its escalation. Like, clearly the situation's getting worse. And this isn't even as bad as it's going to get.
Oh no, it gets worse.
But on to episode 3, which is which has an interesting trend for our reviews.
Yeah, it's now action,
Because
action, action.
now Millington's realized he's fucked up and he wants to call for help. But since he ordered all radio communication disrupted, one of his soldiers went all shining on the comms equipment.
Yep.
Shades of Terror of the Vervoids much?
Oops.
And this one actually happened. It wasn't even Commander Millington jumping up from watching TV going, I didn't do that.
No, this one actually did happen. So he weakened his own base's defences so the Soviets could get in and steal the Ultima machine. Where'd he go there, Shakespeare?
Hey, shut up. No, actually, I think Shakespeare's just right outside, only he's blue and got long fingernails.
Yes!
Wait,
Is this the end for zombie Shakespeare?
Shakespeare showed up in the last episode we did too. Holy shit, we've got like running memes.
Is this the end of zombie Shakespeare?
Fuck's sakes.
And it's here that we get some exposition about the Hemivores.
Oh. So, the Hemivores, as we find out, both here and later in the story, they're evolved from humanity millions of years in the future in a world that was ravaged by pollution. Now, what does that sound like to all y'all?
Laughs in Orphan 55?
You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like you stole that joke from Rainiac.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I stole it from him.
This at all.
And now he's
I mean, it's not like we cut anything out there and you guys are trying to avoid mentioning it.
He stole it from me after I stole it from him, and now we're mirroring each other.
It didn't happen.
And now we're mirroring each other. Fuck.
Oh, God. So do you need to get something off your chest now? Do you need to get something off your chest right now?
No, these are basically the dregs.
It's the dregs, but 30 years early. But I have a weird theory on how this works in this particular timeline, which we'll get to once we get to episode 4.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Frez. Now we have pretty much established that there's possibly alternate timelines, so you know.
Well, that's part of the theory.
Yeah. But they're a really good monster, and it's here that they really start to become quite menacing.
It's too bad there's too much shit going on for Sylvester McCoy not to turn to camera and say, "Stop polluting, you furs!"
The power is yours.
No, we're not even. We're too early for that even.
So the Hemivores start bursting into the church, trying to kill the Doctor and Ace and the Reverend Wainwright, but not Millington for some stupid reason.
No.
I know he's escaped at this point, but for reasons.
Here's the wild thing about the way the Hemivores work, is that they're basically vampires, and once we get out of this, people want... Ace or somebody wonders if you can drive them off with like a crucifix. And the Doctor explains that it's not exactly the crucifix that drives off vampires. It's the person's faith in said crucifix.
Yeah.
So faith is their weakness, which... And earlier on, the Doctor drives... Your version, I don't think, had subtitles. I don't know. Kat never heard what the Doctor said as he was driving them off with faith.
This was brilliant.
Yeah.
There's no subtitles, but I catch it.
He says the names of 60s companions.
Yeah, he's mushing them under his breath to protect himself. It's wonderful.
Barbara, Susan, Ian, and Steve. Barbara, Susan, Vicky, and Stephen.
Yeah.
Ian should have been mentioned, but...
There's no subtitles, but I caught that bit, and I had a huge smile on my face when I saw it. I thought that was great.
Sweet.
I thought that was really
nice
good.
Mm-hmm.
And before this, they're trying to basically fight them off with the church silver, which is not so great.
Yeah.
Ace keeps getting grabbed, but manages to break free, and he eventually realizes it's
hella cool in this scene because she busts out a little rope ladder and is just free climbing down the church parapet.
But she gets into trouble.
Well, she almost fights the fuckers off. She's like,
she almost does, but Zombie Shakespeare and another Hemivore corner her. And they're about to do unspeakable things to her.
And zombie Francis Bacon.
Frank, or the chicken.
Lucky for us, in Soviet Russia, Hemivore suck you.
Oh my god.
Wait, hang on, that doesn't make any sense. So then everywhere else we suck Hemivores?
I mean, if you're into that.
You've done it, you've broken me. Hang on in a moment. I need a moment.
Oh, jeez.
Right, I got my moment. Yeah,
I'm sure there's someone out there who's into that.
There's a great little...
yeah, go ahead.
There's a great little character bit for Soren where he and another soldier burst on the scene. It's like, 2 against 1, eh? That's not right. And he starts shooting them.
Come and have a little Cossack blood, eh?
Yeah. Soren is great.
He really is.
I think this is a special edition thing, or it got cut or something. But when you see Soren coming up to the castle, he's got a bag of wooden stakes on his back.
I think that's in the special edition that they can actually be killed with the stakes.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this in the special edition. You can see the stakes in the TV edit here, but you don't actually see them used in the TV.
Yeah, I think they stake them off camera in the TV version.
Yeah,
and it's restored for the special edition or whatever we're calling it.
I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Yeah,
that's just something to further hammer.
I guess that if you tried to put that in, it would be a little too fantasy rather than alien, which is kind of what the series is going for. Is more extraterrestrial than it is fantasy.
And here's what's great about this. Once the Hemivores have been either staked or driven off with Faith, Soren meets up with Ace and the Doctor again, and the Reverend, though he doesn't really pay much attention to the Reverend. And the Doctor's explaining, it's Faith that drives them back. And Soren just walks out.
Well, he doesn't just walk out. He's going to be like, I've got to go back to my man.
Yeah, and you're like, oh god, he's a dead man walking. No. He's got a brilliant plan. His faith in the Russian Revolution protects him, and it does.
It works.
It works. He just strides out. He's not bothered by a single Hemivore. It's amazing.
That's the power of Soviet Russia.
He also gives Ace his scarf before this happens as well.
Hmm.
And they have a really sort of nice dynamic together. Yes, Ace is totally crushing on the Soviet soldier from 1943, but we'll just ignore that a little bit.
Honestly, Soren is like a really awesome character.
Yeah, he really is.
I hope nothing bad happens to him.
Shit.
Yeah. I sure hope he wasn't just 2 days away from retirement from the army or something like that.
Anyway, Ace has to blow something up.
I mean, he's fine.
Ace is always trying to blow something up.
She gets to blow. Yeah, well, she gets to blow something up, and she also gets a really good, where she basically calls the Doctor on being a manipulative little shit.
Yeah.
And the Doctor is just going off on a rant. Bitch, I didn't ask you about evils in Saddam Time. I asked you what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah. And Ace is also torn because she wants to stay with the Doctor, but she also wants to make sure that Kathleen and the baby are alright.
I'm fine.
Which leads to...
she wants to make sure that the Royal Navy ran from the Curse of Fenric, Kathleen Dubman, and her baby are alright. God damn it, Kat.
Yeah. But this leads to a weird scene because once everybody gets out from the church, Millington basically has Soren arrested. They go off. But Ace is going to break Soren out to help stop the Ultimate Machine. And what we get is weird scene.
Yeah.
I've always found it a little weird.
It is a little bit weird.
The implication being that Ace is going to send the guard to distract him while the Doctor frees Soren. But her seduction is just like this weird, cryptic rant about moving through time and space.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Was there any missing scenes from this? Because at one point he says to her,
Yes.
"You promised you'd never leave," and then she's like, "I have to." It's like, what the
I don't
fuck
remember.
Did she do that?
I think you see the Doctor letting Soren out, and they cut that part out.
There's definitely a cut there.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what the cut actually implied.
I don't remember that scene itself. It's just avant-garde and weird.
Yeah.
Let's just put it.
It goes a little too far past Gonzo.
It's been too long in this series since we had a death. Should we fix that right away? Yes, we do, because poor old Reverend Wainwright.
His faith wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, he's standing guard kind of outside the tunnel gates with a Bible, but he has no faith. His faith's been eroded, so they just devour him
first, and then Phil's continuing like, but no, you don't believe in it. You don't.
Yes, they reverse psychology him to death.
Yep.
Amazingly. So he's devoured, he's gone. Rest in peace, Nicholas Parsons.
Now we have the cliffhanger 3.
Yeah, so Ace has got this flask, which the Doctor's been searching for.
It's an Oriental treasure the Norse Viking settlers took and were haunted. Weird backstory bullshit.
Yeah, the Doctor's the Doctor's loose alliance of him, Ace, and Soren. They get to the Ultima Ring, but they're too late because you've got Millington muttering under his breath about the chains of Fenric being shattered. The Goss have lost the final battle.
And just before they got there, Judson killed him.
Sorry.
Just before they get there, the Ultima machine shoots lightning at Judson.
Judson is killed by the Ultima machine, and you've got Millington.
And Judson, who has been in the wheelchair, he
gets to his feet.
He gets up, his eyes are glowing green, and he says, "We play the contest again, Time Lord." This
is a nice little fake out. So you're meant to think that Millington is being possessed by the entity, but it's actually Judson.
This is one of my favorite cliffhangers in Doctor Who, just because the invocation of Time Lord is just like, oh shit, what's going on?
Immediately,
that was like, oh,
it immediately establishes this thing as a threat. Anytime a villain knows who the Doctor is, knows anything about Gallifrey and the Time Lords, things have got real.
Oh.
And they have indeed.
And then they continue to get real in Part 4.
Like, yeah, we're not even at peak. Shit just got real.
Yeah. So we're introduced to Fenric, formally. That's the name of the entity that's possessing Judson's lifeless corpse.
Yeah.
He knows the Doctor.
Well, if I remember correctly, technically the Doctor says that it's an evil which has no name, but they just call it Fenric because it's easier.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. He's got a body again, so now he can take his revenge on humanity or whatever. He just teleports away. The soldiers rush in. Millington says that the Doctor, Ace, and Soren are going to be shot for treason. Thankfully, the Soviets attack and save them.
Yay, Soviet! Wait.
No, in this story, it really is yay Soviets. This is the really weird thing.
But I'm kind of afraid. I'm American. That might cause people to come in and start beating me up.
Well, it's okay. The Soviet Union isn't a thing.
So you say.
Anyway, while this is all going on,
you guys broke up.
While this is all going on, Fenric / Judson meets with the Haemovores in the tunnel. Phyllis and Jean and all the other nondescript Haemovores, two of which, by the way, were played by Sylvester McCoy's sons.
Oh, that's cute.
But I don't think they're in the main edition. I think they were re-added to the special edition.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I couldn't tell you.
I think their appearances were cut, but from what I read. But yeah,
probably chilling in the background or something. I don't know.
Long story short, the Doctor thinks he's got to beat Fenric in a chess game because that's what started this whole thing thousands of years ago. He trapped Fenric with an unbeatable chess problem,
which begs the question: when the fuck this happened, and lends credence to weird Cartmel master plan bullshit regarding which may or may not have
Yes, and
a certain episode.
that may or may not also affect the ending of this particular story. But
Yes. But for now, Fenric orders them to summon the Ancient One.
yes,
Kat had a really quick comment. We were both watching this one.
Just casually summon Dagon as you do. I Dagon Cthulhu Fatong.
I was going to say, this is not Cthulhu.
Oh.
When are people going to learn that the trick to summoning Cthulhu is to not summon Cthulhu? It never ends well.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, Mom! You summoned Cthulhu again. Sorry.
And this is basically where we learn about evolution, which is interesting because of what Fenric tries to get the Ancient One to do. Remember all that poison?
Yeah.
He's going to get the Ancient One to unleash all of the poison into the ocean and fuck up the world. But this is a big predestination paradox.
It is.
The Ancient One fucking up the ocean and polluting the world is what's going to create the polluted world which let the Hemivores come into existence.
And the Ancient One.
And the Ancient One.
Yeah.
So, to use a loaded phrase later, the Ancient One will create his own future.
Yeah. Nice throwback.
Yeah.
Or should I say throw forward? Throw forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's
this
almost
gets
as if it wasn't for the Ancient One being there wouldn't be an Ancient One. Almost like a certain kind of paradox that we know very much about.
About predestination? I agree.
I just said that.
Yeah.
The
But
predestination paradox
anyway, the Doctor decides that if we're going to beat Fenric, we have to get him to tackle the chess problem again. And then we can have him banished like I did back in the 6th century BC or whatever, where he created some chess pieces out of bones and Fenric couldn't solve the puzzle. Quite what that banished him to another dimension, no idea, but it just did. Okay,
It just works.
it just works. Just go with it. So they go to the commander's room. He's got a chess set. No, it blows up.
No, actually, it's a double booby trap.
Yeah,
They go for the chess set, and he's booby trapped the chess pieces, or he's left like one of those gas grenades with the poison gas. and then Ace is like, "Poof! That's not what I would have done at all. If I were him, I would have put dynamite under the table." Oh shit! And then they have to book it, and they leap behind some sandbags, and
the office is blown up. Millington then meets up with Fenric in the toxin chamber. All hell breaks loose as the Hemivores start attacking the British soldiers. And while this is going on, the Doctor explains why names are important. The Curse of Fenric has passed down through ancient families like Millington, Wainwright, Judson, and Dudman. That last one will be very important in about 10 minutes.
oh yeah.
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 But the mention of Dudman makes Ace remember that, Kathleen's got a chest that wasn't destroyed. She smuggled it away amongst her possessions,
Yes,
so we have to go and get it. Kathleen Dudman has a chest that is not funny anymore, Kat.
I don't know when it happens, but I've got this marked down that I think it's before Ace goes out to Kathleen Dudman. Could be after. Soren gives her his Soviet emblem.
That's after. He gives her the real Soviet Army badge to replace her replica copy.
It's a cute scene because he's just like, "You wear our emblem. I only bought it in the shop. It's not real."
Meanwhile, death is happening all over the place. The British soldiers are losing to the Hemivores. The Wrens, not including Kathleen Dudman, have become Hemivores somehow, and they killed the soldiers that have come to rescue them. Nurse Crane buys the farm.
The other British soldiers are throwing gas grenades at the remaining Soviets, gassing them to death.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible. It's pouring rain. Shit is getting real.
Yes. Nurse Crane buys the farm when Fenric allows her to be consumed.
I got to comment on this scene for one reason,
Yes.
and I'm gonna need your editing on this, Rainiac, because Fenric comes in and he's just like, took care of me all these years, treating me like a child. I think that this is what Dr. Judson would have wanted.
Yeah.
And he sticks the humorous on her. But the face he makes!
Yeah.
The shit-eating grin he has!
Yeah.
Put it up! Put it up!
You know I like a good shit-eating grin.
It's just like,
Put up a picture of Donald Duck in the bathtub to celebrate.
Oh, God.
I will do that. I will do that. But yes, the face is amazing. So she's gone. Some of the soldiers are gone. The Wrens have been turned. Other than Kathleen Dudman, before you even start,
we should talk about Kathleen Dudman.
Yeah, while this is all going on, and there's an important bit with one of the British soldiers.
We talk about a really good scene with Ace and Kathleen Dudman, where we find out that her husband was killed in action, and Ace has to come.
Yeah, comfort her.
But it does help to serve the point that she really.
Yeah.
Dead.
Anyway, she gets back to the barracks. She gets back to the barracks. Meanwhile, the commander of the guard, who I think is Bates, Captain Bates, he overhears Fenric talking with Millington about how he's going to use the toxins to poison the world. So he realizes, oh shit, maybe the Soviets aren't the enemy here. And he joins up with what remains of the Soviets and what remains of the British. They form this sort of loose alliance.
And this is where Ace is going to get the Soviet pin from.
Yeah, this is where she gets the Soviet badge.
Yeah.
It's a really sweet scene, but also, hello there, child of the Cold War. Have a Soviet pin.
Yep.
Yes.
So Ace books it back to the barracks. They get the chess set. Ace stays behind to look after Kathleen, not you, Kat, and her baby. The Hemophils bust in through the window like the Kool-Aid Man. They barely get away. And this is where it gets interesting. Because Ace gives Kathleen, not you, Kat, gives her an address in London saying, well, my nan will look after you. Kisses the baby, says that she'll always love her, and gives Kathleen, not you, gives Ace a picture of Audrey. This will have no relevance whatsoever at the end of the story. None at all.
And then this is while Jean and Phyllis come to try and get Ace. But then the Ancient One and Fenric are just like, yeah, we don't really need any other heroes. Why don't you just melt them with your mind?
Yeah, the Ancient One just kills all the Hemophils with a thought.
And then Jean and Phyllis just melt.
Yeah. They do their best Wicked Witch of the West impersonation.
Which I gotta mention, a special feature on the Blu-ray is some meeting with the special effect team talking about how they're going to do that. And I think they asked for something more. And they're like, can we do something like that? And John Nathan Turner just says, not at 7:35, no.
Oh boy. Speaking of deaths then, and deserved deaths, the most deserved death in the entire episode happens shortly after, where Millington is about to shoot Bates for treason, but he forgot about the Soviets, and Soren's last surviving Soviet kills Millington stone dead. Which
Millington shot this guy earlier, but he lived, so he forgot, and the guy got him back.
I live, bitch.
And this actually helps Ace realize something, because the doctors challenged Fenric to the chess game. He's got it all set up again. Find the winning move, blah, blah, blah. And Ace runs into Bates and the other Soviet soldier. And it's just like, we're working together now. We'll no longer be pawns in other people's games. And Ace is like, hey, that's it. That's the winning move.
That's daytime, comrade.
That's daytime, comrade. You don't have
it. I don't have it.
You're not getting into that movie for another 2 weeks.
I know.
You'll have a good time.
Next week is Moonray, Kev. Shut up.
Fucking lasers, Rainiac!
Yes.
Anyway, Soren encounters Fenric.
Yeah, he goes to kill him.
And it's implied he's going to shoot him, but Fenric does drop the bombshell that Soren was chosen for this mission because his grandmother was the daughter or grandchild, I forget which one, of one of the Viking settlers of Northumberland here.
Yeah, he had an English grandmother.
So he's tied into all this shit too.
Indeed he is.
And he raises the gun to Fenric. We cut away, do some other stuff. And then Ace comes in, and Soren's standing over the chest set. And she basically says, oh, Fenric couldn't figure it out. The pawns are supposed to join together to take the queen. And Soren looks up, and it's fucking Fenric.
Yeah.
You did it again, Ace.
God damn it, Serial. We said to not do anything to Soren. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid he's dead. I'm afraid he's dead.
Well, I mean, if he's not dead now, he will be in a few minutes.
No, he's already dead.
Yeah.
Stop! He's already dead.
But I'm still saying, even if he wasn't, he would still be dead in a couple minutes.
It's not just like Ace being like, "Oh no, stupid! You gave away the plan." There's actually, I feel, a thematic point to this, but we'll get to it in a second. This is the climax of the story, and it is
amazing.
Fucking whopper.
It is an amazing scene.
I'm going to have to give you a little extra setup to say.
Please do.
This is kind of like a loose story arc. There's certain little elements from previous Seventh Doctor stories that get built up to this, but it's not like modern Who. Like everything leads into it. We're talking like a one-off thing from 2 years ago, getting retconned or cleaned here.
Yeah, I have a modern equivalent of this to compare it to.
But it is like the precursor to a modern Who story. You can really see in the latter years of classic Who how the show became what it is now.
Yeah.
Like the framework was there. It was getting better. It's just the fact that nobody gave a shit and the ratings it got canceled.
Yeah, it's a shame. So what you're alluding to is that there have been like little hints placed in previous Seventh Doctor serials, but not all of them.
One or two little. Let me explain that.
Can I make a modern day comparison, and you might disagree with me?
Yes.
Series 3.
Yeah. Okay.
The Master manipulating events to bring about the sound of drums, because he says, Professor Lazarus, do you think Tish got her job with him by accident? I've been laying traps for you all this time.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I was thinking more Amy with a crack in the wall.
No, it's not as overt as that.
Yeah. No,
That's what makes the Series 3 mystery better, because they don't just go, here's a mystery, solve it. They just leave a couple of breadcrumbs here and there.
Here's the thing. Ace's origin in 1987, the story Dragonfire, is that she was playing around with chemistry in her bedroom or her school or whatever, and she accidentally created a time and space portal that whisked her to a frozen planet called Iceworld, which is absolutely goddamn stupid, but when you're watching, you're just like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You want to introduce a new companion? Okay. I don't know why she can't be from here, but Curse of Fenric, which is by the same writer, retcons this.
Yeah.
So that the time storm was actually caused by Fenric to get Ace and the Doctor together to get them here and to free him and all this other stuff.
I wouldn't call that a retcon. I would call that additional information.
Okay, that's fair. And there's also, the mention of a chess set with a story involving Cybermen. That's the previous season's Silver Nemesis, which had a chess set, and the Doctor was fiddling around with it in the background. And a couple of scenes. It wasn't really a mental thing.
Yeah.
But if you remember that from last year, you're like, oh, they were doing something. Okay. But the big reveal here is that Ace is one of the Wolves of Fenric, one of the descendants. Because Kathleen Dudman was one of the descendants.
Yeah, remember I said that name Dudman was important? Here's why.
Kathleen Dudman is Ace's
That's it?
grandmother.
Oh.
Who Ace... Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, we can rewind if you want.
No, it's too late now.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. So Kathleen Dudman is Ace's grandmother, which would make Audrey Ace's mother. The baby that she liked was the mom that she hated. And Ace sent her to the house where she's going to live. Have baby Audrey grow up. Ace created her own future. It's a predestination paradox. And this is like a weird theme that's going on in the story. They had the chess theme, obviously. And Fenric is just using all of Fenric descendants and creating elaborate predestination destiny paradoxes with them and using them as his pawns. Which I find really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
And that leads us to the wild fucking scene.
Yeah, I've got thoughts about this. So,
go ahead.
Having revealed that Ace is one of the Wolves of Fenric and she's just created her own future, he sets the Doctor a prisoner's dilemma of sorts. He says, I'm going to kill you anyway, but if you want the girl to live, kneel before Zod, I mean Fenric.
And we should keep in mind that he's tried to get the Ancient One to kill Ace, but Ace's faith in the Doctor is keeping the Ancient One at bay.
She believes that Hera will save her. She's not going to stand in his way. I have been waiting for an hour to drop that on you.
And now you're marrying me. Fuck.
You cannot see the grin on my face. It has to be surgically removed. It's that wide.
I'm actually picturing Fenric's shit-eating grin right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But yes, so her faith is protecting her from the Ancient One. And then the Doctor, oh my god.
So Fenric says, kneel before me, and I'll let the girl live. And the Doctor's response?
Kill her.
She was nothing to me.
Holy fuck.
He just goes on his outright tirade about Ace. I mean, damn, son.
Yeah.
This is a fucking heartbreaking scene.
He just tears her down. Mercilessly.
He calls her a social misfit, an emotional cripple. It's like he outlines the whole idea that he knew that Fenric had to do with everything behind Ace. And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. This is just such an amazing scene.
It's such a good scene that Toby Whithouse would later rip it off for God Complex.
Yeah. I was going to mention that. It's more effective here, though.
Anyway, Ace loses her faith in the Doctor.
Because Amy doesn't get that crippling moment of thinking all's lost.
The Ancient One lunges forward, and he's like, fuck you, Fenric.
Yeah, he kills Fenric instead of the Doctor.
He kills them both. He kills them both by luring them both into the, what do you want to call it? Airlock chamber?
Yeah.
Isolation chamber.
Isolation chamber, and dropping some poison.
Yeah, he just picks up this canister of the toxin and just marches Sorin/Fenric into the chamber, locks it behind him, and they both die together.
And then everything blows. Doctor
as it does.
And the last
really,
thing,
you think that would be worse because then all the poison would just go.
Yeah, at this point, Ace is like, she doesn't want to be with the Doctor, but it's like, we have to run, get out now.
No, leave me alone.
Yeah, they do get out safely.
And the Doctor has to apologize. It's pretty sad, you know.
Yeah, he said, I didn't actually mean all those things. I just had to tear down your faith in me so the Ancient One could fulfill its destiny.
The Doctor being manipulative.
Essentially, from how we understand it, the Doctor spoke to the Ancient One back in the tunnels, got him to work with him, and then the whole idea was that because Ace was standing there using her faith, the Ancient One couldn't get past Ace to get to Fenric to start off the whole blowing everything up scenario.
Well,
whatever the reason, Ace's faith in the Doctor is shaken. They have this really touching scene where Ace is struggling with the fact that she's created her own future and that the baby that she loved is the mother that she hated.
And there's some symbolic something or other going on where she dives in the water, like wash away her.
It's her letting go of her psychological trauma, yes.
Something like that. It's a metaphor for something or other.
And roll credits, and we have been on a journey.
Holy fuck.
Woohoo!
So, final thoughts, y'all?
Yeah. Why don't you go first?
It's the best classic Who story. It's so good. It has a little bit of fun, but it just keeps escalating. There's all these intricate themes, intrigue, and mirroring, and just heartbreaker scenes and revelations. It just builds and builds and builds. It is a masterpiece. And y'all should seek it out, please. I know we spoiled the shit out of it, but it's still worth watching. Holy shit.
Yeah. Kat?
I thought it was really great. Obviously, I don't have the exact same connection to Ace and the Doctor that Frez would have, or maybe even you would have, just because this is probably the second Doctor story that I saw with the Seventh Doctor, and let's be fair, the first one was the Rodney one, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
So, I don't have the same connection, but honestly... I also saw the Dalek one, I forgot about that, but, Ace is awesome. It's like, she's completely, utterly awesome in this, and... the characters are awesome, the story is awesome. There's really not more I can say other than the fact that this was really fun to, watch and be part of.
Yeah, and I echo you two completely. This is a brilliant story. It's so well written. It's so tightly plotted. Sophie Aldred has an amazing performance as Ace. The Doctor's at his manipulative best. A really memorable villain in Fenric. A really good secondary character in Sorin. I just cannot praise this enough. The only thing I would say is that this probably should have been a series finale. It feels like a series finale, rather than the series finale that we got, which was Survival.
I think Survival fits in its own way.
Yeah. But that's just because, the series ended. The show ended.
Mm.
The show went on hiatus.
Survival's like a good coda. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. But, yeah, if you haven't seen this yet, seek it out. Just seek it out. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. So, that's it for Curse of Fenric. And I believe it's Kat's choice next.
Oh, boy.
Kat, do you have a story for us to watch? I'm going to regret this. What's your pick?
Oh, that's just it. I'm not going to tell you yet.
Okay.
You'll find out when we go to do it.
Well, hang on a minute. We need to watch it, so...
Oh, I know. I'm saying that you won't find out until we decide to watch it. And this is totally not me stalling for time because I don't have a choice.
I see. It's a mystery. You're springing a mystery on us.
Yes, let's go with that.
Okay.
What wild classic Doctor Who episode will Kat throw at us next week? Tune in to find out on Doctor
Next
Who
time
Reviews.
on Dragon Ball Z.
5 episodes of powering up.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I'm intrigued now as to what the hell it's going to be. So
until then, say goodnight, Rainier.
That has been the Curse of Fenric. Thank you to Kat and Jerry for discussing with me because it was really enjoyable to relive it again. I would watch it 5 times over. It's that good. Thank you to you for listening to us talk about it. And join us next time for a mystery. What could the mystery be? We'll find out.
It's definitely not going to be Twin Dilemma. It's not.
Oh, wow.
That makes me think it's going to be Twin Dilemma now, but we'll find out.
I'm not that obvious. Come on.
I have a guess, but we'll find. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see if your guess was right next time when we review a mystery episode or story. Until then, thank you for watching and bye for now.
Yep, we're going to leave you on this literal cliffhanger.
No, that's Dragonfire.
Quick. Put Sylvester McCoy up there.
Mother's name is Kathleen.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I didn't realize that.
The wren that gets picked on by Millington a lot is Kathleen Dubman.
I can never ever name my kid Audrey. Do not, if I ever somehow have a kid, do not let me name them Audrey.
Why? Because they'll turn into a giant plant monster?
Yes.
Please, Miss Seymour.
Now I have two things to worry about.
Only two, you
And
lucky
both of them
person.
want blood.
If you only have two things to worry about in 2020, you are doing quite well.
I sure am glad I started doing grass early to compensate.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
Also, how about that Min Min?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Min Min. I still need to buy the fighter pass, but we are doing battles with her, and you are going to use the blue pellet like Chun-Li.
Spinning star kick.
I can just see it now. You're just going to spam the lightning kick over and over and somehow win.
I don't know what I'll spam over and over. It'll be something because I have the brain of a lizard.
She is going to take a lot of getting used to with all the different mechanics.
The brain of a lizard.
I'm just waiting to fight Blazy because he mains Lucina and he likes to throw out counters like there's no tomorrow.
What?
So Min-Min's just like...
Hold up. Blaze mains Lucina as well.
Yep.
That's gimmick infringement, damn it.
Fight.
Was he using Lucina in Smash 4?
Yes.
Shit, I'm the copycat.
And now you're mirroring him.
Fuck.
Yeah, you've got like Shakespearean ruffs and shit.
Yeah.
On their neck.
I like the design
They
a lot.
look really
actually.
fucking...
Yeah, they're a good design.
Oh, they're hella great.
Yeah, it's just too bad that they're not actually fighting.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shit.
get the motorcycle out the bedroom, Jerry.
Like, I've got a fast
That was
vehicle.
the loudest fucking motorcycle. Holy shit.
Get that Kawasaki out the bedroom,
I
Jerry.
go fast. I've got the window open. It's hot. I can't help it if some idiot decides to flex and say, I've got a big dick and an even bigger motorcycle.
Weird flex, but okay.
Hopefully nobody's standing under your window because they just heard that.
No, don't worry. We're fine.
Hope that goes by being in the blooper reel, because that guy's in the blooper reel now.
Okay. That's fine.